Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
Good, Baruch Hashem.
Good.
Okay, let's go for it.
All right.
Um, I think we're up to test.
Yes.
Least of Inish Bahadi Tzibor. A person should participate with the community. So this is too anonymous. Okay. Mea shares the look of our boy Mea Dacha. Came back from vacation. Um,
The dacha. I was wondering what that word
yeah.
was.
So this is they didn't start Rosh Chodesh Elul in the old days. So this, so I think they started later because you see this. He's writing this in Arab Shabbos Kodesh Shabbos Shuva, between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So obviously, it was in vacation at vacation to some just a short time before Rosh Hashanah. I think they usually start for 2 weeks before. That's my impression. But in any event, Peter has it made. Utchila. First of all, let me tell you, Karbes about the mitzvah akayitz mi ibriu si lo alechem. Um, the lo alechem. He suffered from bad health, and now he's going to explain the brackets why he says lo alechem, even though normally it's spelled with an ayin, which would either connote lo aleinu, not upon us, or lo alechem. So he says kasuba pasuk ba'alef. Okay, lo elechem kol ovrei derech. It's a pasuk in Eicha. Lo kamosh regilim oil michtov lo alechem ba'ayin. Vinei shamati b'shem agrozal she'en lotzi mitachas yado. Person should not allow to come out, issue forth from him, ksabatos, a mistake in his writing. This is part and parcel of the principle that a chaver always makes sure that things issued forth from him are properly typed. I can't be artis, so that's why I explain this. So from this, we can learn how much a person has himself from falsehood. Who cares if it's with an ayin or with an aleph, right? Rak Kavanoso Zal, but the Gra is saying, Begera Limdu Shuram Daber Sheker. A fascinating idea. In other words, inaccuracy is also a form of falsehood. And therefore, to allow something which is inaccurate to come out from under one's pen is a form of spreading Limdu Shuram Daber Sheker, to custom oneself to speak false words. It's an amazing, amazing statement. So that's why meticulous also to this extent. To use the language of the pasuk. From they say from this pasuk. From here we see that the Torah is has legitimized complaint. So, but in any event, the saying like, yeah, I hope what befell me, Chas v'shalom, does not befall you, right? So the idea is that what you learn from this little aleph instead of an ayin is always inaccuracy is a problem of limdu l'shonam daber sheker. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, v'nei mamar tarich bezeller osiki si chosim shalom chachamim tzrichim limud. If I wanted to extend more time on this, I'm not sure exactly what, maybe on the point I made in the brackets, maybe some other point, to demonstrate that just the literally plain discussion, it's not specifically Torah. Requires analysis and study. Because all the words of Chachamim are according to Chachma, as long as it's appropriate according to halacha. They're either chachma or chana l'kiyum Torah v'amidos, or preparation to fulfill the Torah and midos. Ach ein yochol arich, but I can't spend a longer time on this. But maybe yavin b'mizeh malas hamussar. I think it's to speak about the thing, the brackets, and he's saying that see how far Mussar goes, that even an inaccuracy should be eradicated, not just falsehood. A person should be meticulous about things which are inaccurate. This is Akiva Eger is very famous for saying to his publishers that he wants his books to be published with a good ink on beautiful paper, so people will be able to read what he wrote and read it easily and enjoy reading it. And that too would be manifestation of a Musar perspective, that I'm concerned with producing something which represents me in the optimal and best way possible. So
Mhm.
certainly not inaccurate, and also it might even be a kind of a Musar not to write illegibly, because you write illegibly, it's also people not going to be able to understand you. But
Mm.
this is a much more
That's
direct.
my down. That's my downfall.
Uh-huh.
I
Okay,
don't write in Hebrew. I write beautifully, but in
I have the
English,
same problem. Are you a
I
writer?
write terrible. I'm a righty.
Okay, I'm a lefty. So I write Hebrew very nicely, but English horrible.
Yeah.
Okay. Yizkor Shana Tova Masuka. Okay, so obviously it's a time to wish a good and sweet year. Yizkor Liko Say B'Sei Parnasa V'Chal Kola. Obviously, everybody needs a Parnasa. Perish Agon Yibin Sa. Rabbi Yaakov Emden explains. Shetia, what does it mean Parnasa V'Chal Kola? It should be that we should be in the safer Parnasa V'Chal Kola. Shetia Parnasa Miyad Hashem. We should get our parnasa as a gift from God. Lo misachar mitzvah, and not as reward for our mitzvahs. Okay. Kamoshi Omer Tamid Admor, the name of Rabbi Sol Salanter, Zal, Bela Yomim. You would say, Ki Adam, Tzarich Lios Ish Shel Rabim Tzrichim Lo. A person wants to be Zoche Bedin, he should be a person who many other people need him. Which is a very it's not always such an easy thing to achieve, um, because you don't necessarily have the opportunities for that. But that is a person who Rabbi Tzrichim, that is a person who has a chance of getting a good Zardin, because he's essential. Obviously, it has to be for a good thing. Because which means we should according to this interpretation, write this in the book of life, life for your purpose. Okay, not for your sake, for your purpose. Write this in the book of Chaim Lamancha, life for the purpose of God, Elohim Chaim. Perush Chaim a life should be something which is essential for God's master plan. The locate, if not for that, Yochel Yoshochel HaMitzvah Shikiyeh, it's possible that what you're eating is on account, right? For mitzvahs which you did. Because if your life is not a life of Lamancha, any investment you make in you is wasted. So therefore, we should, what we're giving you would be perhaps for the schar of the mitzvahs that you already did. But simis shochel, that is the reward for your mitzvah, those carrots. But if his life is necessary for on high, then his parnasa is not considered to detract from him and in any way, shape, or form. Because his life is the life which is necessary, a life which is necessary for God's purposes. Hakal shown that more is out. That's the end of the quote from Rabbi Sosa answer. Let's multi-bind misarbe. Laros kama multimolam. We spoke about how mistaken the world is. Sharakutum is kol shana tova. Oneg olam hazeh. They only want to get a nice year of pleasure in this world. They know Yodim and they don't know Yoker HaHotel Sholem Hazeh. That's also I've heard the name of Rabbi Yisrael, that this world is a very expensive hotel.
Right. They charge for everything.
Yeah, Kama you can say about Pinko Shababayis. We don't know how.
Today in a hotel today, you don't even know what they're going to charge.
Right.
If you travel like to the big hotels in Las Vegas, so at the end you figure, oh, I figured out my bill, but they say no, there's a service charge, and there's a room charge, and there's
Right.
a this charge. So it's even worse.
Right.
It's worse than what Rabbi Yisrael says.
Yes.
At
So
least to Rabbi Yisrael, okay, it's expensive. Okay, I'll pay the price, whatever. But now I don't even know what the price
yeah.
is.
Well,
It's so
that
much.
also applies to us in the sense that you don't know how you impacted upon other people, and that impact upon other people, if it's negative, becomes part of the price you pay for the hotel.
Hmm.
Okay, when you have previous paragraph, Isha Rabim Tzrichim Lo, there's an upside and a downside. The upside is you have great potential to do good, and that good justifies your continued existence. The downside is you have great potential to do bad. Right? If I ever did something which sent a student of mine, off the derech, so then that I'm going to have to pay for charges I will not even imagine.
Hmm.
Okay, so who knows? You can say a Pinchas Babais. How much written on the register of the master? Shalom Kula, the entire world. Gambad Kos Mine, even for a cup of water. Hotels take a charge for water.
That's right.
Briano Zos Berchava Balil. And we explain this expansively and clearly. Chen Shemati Miadoni Avi Zal Moreva Rabbi. I know his father was a rabbi. I don't remember his name. Famous name. I don't remember it. Anyway, Umayim b'Msora Tishta. This is one of the curses which appears in the Tochacha. So Perush literally means water you're going to drink by
By measure.
measure. Kamayim b'Msora Yishta v'lo kiltzono b'li mesim. And water is also measured. It's not like you as much as you want without any account. Rashi says, Adam told Marino Chalom Ra. To a good person, they show bad dreams. So you should be concerned and not sin. And that is his irritation or his aggravation or even his sadness should atone for him. To a bad person, they show a good dream. Here's Rashi. Make him happy so he eats up his reward. So certainly if a dream can count against your balance. Because certainly good things happen when you're awake. You're eno rum kvodo. You should see divrei admorzal kama tzrichim limud. How much that we have to learn from them. How much we have to learn them. About this again. I think it's about this world is a expensive hotel. How foolish are people making all their days like holidays? Aha, aha. Whoa,
Mm.
whoa. Can you Adam Lios Lichios? A person has lived for the needs of heaven. Barmuzal Oro Asher Lo Yakim it says it's called the Ibran Torah. Cursed is a person who doesn't sustain all of this Torah. Torah. Anybody who can sustain Torah, and normally we use that as euphemism for giving money, but that he says no, that's more than that. Haman, I'm sure whether it's his soul or Haman or with his money, the lawyer can sustain it. He is cursed. The name Rubem Mido Toiva. Obviously, the flip side should be even more. Hamaxik Torah, Maxik Talmid Chachamim, I guess. I can't really. The first letter is rubbed out by me.
It's either it's a tough.
It's a tough. So I think it's
That's what it
Talmid
looks like.
Chachamim.
Yeah.
Baruch Kama Pamim Yosef. How blessed is he? Asher Chelkam Shemachzikim Torah v'Yirgam Yachad. Praise for the day that they sustain both Torah and Yira together. He's cool. Baruch Kama Pamim. That we blessed several times over. Its stock will remain forever. Perish Netzach, eternity. In other words, the reward for their stock will be in Netzach. In this world, If you're living for the sake of heaven, so then you get your stipend for that because of the way you're living, and your reward for what you actually did is kept for olam haba. So it's like adam ochel perosem b'olam hazeh, aken kayem es olam haba. Suppose the person doesn't live for the purpose of heaven, he doesn't deserve a stipend. So he doesn't deserve a stipend, he gets a parnasa. That parnasa is because he's getting rewarded for something. Erev Shabbos to Kodesh Tshuva Nizkel Gemar Chasima Toiva. Ketana um the Vei Rabbi Shmuel, or I think Adam Nidam Rosh Hashanah. A person is the judge in Rosh Hashanah, and B'Gzar Shlo Nechtam Yom Kippur, and the Kriyas Yom Kippur. V'Yiratzon Sheyel Tova B'Chto Klal Yisrael. So for good among the Klal. Ki HaKlal Muftach Sheyel L'Tova. The Klal has a promise from God. Amar Shemei V'Atur. Miku Mazu Shodas Ofi Perish Minag Shel Eloka. Elkenu. Elkim. Who is like this nation who knows the personality, in other words, the custom of its God, which is counterintuitive. Adam sheyesh lo din, a person who has to appear in court. Lovesh chorim, he wears black. Misatim shchorim, wraps himself in black because he's too nervous. He can't dress festively when he goes to court. He dresses in a somber way, which borders on mourning. Avisol lovshim lavanim. Jews wear white. Misatim lavanim wrap themselves in white. Kishodim shakadosh baruch hu selem nisim. Because we know that Hashem makes us miracles. Umata dinam inclines the din of the cloud, the kapschus. So lichara seisa gemara shlosh niftachim. This seems to contradict the Gemara, which says there are 3 books which are open. So what do you mean? How do you know that it's going to be? Says Nes is going to occur and you're going to be kapschus. I mean, okay, Klal Yisrael muftach sheyetz adin loor. Klal Yisrael has a promise that the judgment will come out in their favor eventually, not necessarily immediately. But the point is, to the extent that a person makes himself essential for Klal Yisrael, the more likely he is to have a good gzar din, or gzar din which is appropriate, I should say. Alkein, ki Klal Yisrael alkein mishu machnis atzmo shelo yel atzmo, a person who puts himself into it, that he's not for himself. Rakshu rabin tzrichim lo, the masses require him. Nimsa ki haklal tzorich lo, the totality of this society requires him. Yizkeh b'toch haklal l'tova, and he's going to be merit within the klal to a good gzar din. So the main point was this idea of tzarich lios isha rabin tzrichim lo. We have to try and find ways to become more of Isha Rabin Tzrichim Lo. Again, some people are granted vast spheres of influence. Some people are granted far more restricted spheres of influence. But everybody has a sphere of influence. So that sphere of influence, a person has to endeavor and try and ensure that their impact upon it is positive, and that way is living optimally, Chaim Shem Tzorach Gaboa. And here it says in the context of the Gzar Din, Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, but obviously that is the type of life which elevates a person more than any other option at his disposal. Okay, that was a nice piece.
Yes.
And especially those we have that brackets with the inaccuracies of Limdu Lashonam L'Daber Sheker.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, Shkoyach.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Okay, talk to you Tuesday.
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
Okay. Right.
Bye.